Good day and welcome to our interview today as we talk with the Eufaula Ironheads about the upcoming 2021 football season. We have Coach Larry Newton Jr. and four of his players with us. Coach, we'll start with you and talk a little bit about the season coming up. You guys made the quarterfinals last year. I'm sure it was nice to have kind of a regular spring and summer to kind of get things started this year.
Yes, it's getting a little bit like normal, I guess. Still a long ways away from it, but just being able to get together and everybody being at one practice, in the mornings makes, a huge difference because I'm huge on, everybody seeing everybody go through the pain. And like I said, it's really helped being able to do that, and missing it from last year and this year, everybody getting to see everybody do the same workouts, the same, the pain and all that stuff. But yes, it's very good.
It's also made it a lot easier to be able to look at who's going to fill some of the holes you've got too.
It is, and you're able to, work on all the improvements right there at one time rather than, weeding them out and trying to find out what's going wrong at different ones. So like I said, this has been a very good summer for us. It's always good to get back and everybody working together and really happy.
Let's talk a little bit about the Ironheads and the upcoming season. We'll start off with the offense. You got a good group coming back. You got your quarterback, Luke Adcock back. You got Khalil back. You got a couple of key linemen back. Talk a little bit about start with that offense.
We every year you lose some, I guess, unless you're Gore. That's got them all coming back. But, we talk about it every year. But I've got a good nucleus of, players that's going to come up right now and keep doing what we're doing, And, of course, we're just like everybody else. The injury here, there can mess things up. But with Luke, coming in last year, learning the system very quickly, I was very impressed with, not having the 7-on-7 and not even been able to do anything really until football season. Him coming in and that first game against Vian, that's a tough one to go see where you're at. But we got Khalil. He's going to have to make a decision where he's going to go here, before long. And like I said, I'm excited about him. And like I said, does a wonderful job of, doing what he does. I mean, a lot of people, unless you see Khalil Deer live, you don't understand what he's able to do. And that's just like Luke. I get a lot of compliments on all these guys standing up here. Very fortunate right now that I have a bunch of kids that want to work really hard.
Okay, and of course, to make that offense go, you got to have the big guys down front. We've got Ty Dodd and Johnny Burton, two of those linemen. Tom, I'm going to start with you. Talk a little bit about how the off-season's gone for you and kind of what you're looking forward to this year.
Oh, it's went great. We have great show-ups every day, I would say about 30 kids, and just every day getting better.
And Johnny, what's one of these things, maybe if there's any one thing that you've been trying to really emphasize and work on during the off-season that you want to improve on?
Well, I mean, if you just really want to talk about that, probably mental toughness, grit. We just need people there that's going to show up and get the job done.
Let's talk about some goals for the upcoming season with Khalil. Talk a little bit about any goals that you might have personally. I know you've gotten some offers. You've got the recruiting thing. Kind of how is all that playing with you mentally?
It's just probably do better than I did last year and just do better how I did last year and just get more offers and experience more.
How is the recruiting thing playing with your mind? Is that any more of a pressure on you this year?
It builds stress. It builds a lot of stress, but it's going really good. Experiencing a lot of things and having a good time with it.
And Luke, talk a little bit about now, as Coach said, you kind of had a full season. You kind of got baptized by fire last year. What's it been like this year now that you've kind of had a more normal setting?
Just a lot more comfortable. Just more comfortable with everything we're doing, especially going into the season. Not near as much stress and things like that as far as, what am I going to do here? What does this play? Stuff like that. Just being used to it and having it in games and stuff and experience is really the biggest.
You're the only underclassman among this group. Do you have particular goals, so many yards or anything like that you've set for yourself?
Not really, just be better than I was last year.
Okay, let's move over to the defense, Coach, and talk a little bit about that. That's kind of where you've suffered some of the biggest losses. particularly your linebacker core. I know you've been quoted as saying this is the first time in a while you haven't had a strong linebacker back from the year before. You got some holes to fill in the secondary. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's that year that we just don't have a returning guy coming back. You know, we've been fortunate enough to where we had at least one every year coming in, but this is the year that we've lost both of them. And like I said, it's like I tell the kids all the time. You know, somebody's going to step up and replace, and they're going to do the job that they need to do. And you know, Luke can play it a little bit. You know, he played it some last year. We had some couple guys that didn't start, but got a lot of playing time at the end of the year, just because the people are missing. We're going to fill the spots. It's just that sometimes it might not be as good as what you had, but those guys are going to play just as hard.
Talk about special teams. That's one area that kind of gets glossed over a little bit in preseason.
Well, like I said, we've got a freshman kicker that's coming in that we got a lot of hopes in. He can kick it pretty good, and the big deal there is going to be, you know, the pressure of the game. Last year we struggled a lot kicking the ball, you know, kickoffs and PATs, field goals. Wasn't able to do it. We had one the year before last that did a very good job, but you know, we don't have soccer in the school program, so those guys aren't there. But we've got some kids that have played soccer that are coming up. That, like I said, the freshman that's able to get the ball out there pretty good. So it's the key of the game. You know, I mean, a lot of people don't look at it that way, but field position is the big key. And like I said, if you can have a good special team, then that makes the offense or defense a whole lot better.
You two lineman guys, your guys are the seniors, or some of the seniors on this team. Ty, talk a little bit about how you intend to lead these younger guys coming up. Kind of what's your leadership style?
Just kind of show them how to do it. Yeah, just show them how to do it, lead in the positivity way, don't down everybody like it has been happening. And hopefully just when I leave, they can step up and be just as good as me.
Johnny, same question for you. Talk a little bit about kind of how you plan to lead these guys and maybe kind of what you want to leave as a legacy for yourself at Eufaula.
Well, when I leave, I just want to show these lower classmen that don't be scared to face challenges, that you can beat anybody if you put your mind to it, and that if you do it, you're going to win.
And back to Khalil now. I ask him a question. Coach talked a little bit about the defensive secondary and filling holes back there. You're going to be one of the main guys back there this year in terms of the linebackers and defensive backs. You've got to be the leader back there. Talk a little bit about, you talked a little bit about all the pressures kind of on yourself already. Talk a little bit about that side of it.
We just work hard. Going to have to work hard and fill in spots and just try to get better on the defensive side and just try to find everybody that's
How
going
do
to
you
fill
plan
in.
to lead these guys back there?
Just play hard.
Are you a vocal kind of guy, or are you a guy that kind of leads more by example?
I'm not a big vocal guy. I'm more of a guy that just do things and hope everybody follows behind.
Okay. And Coach, let's talk a little bit about one other area on your offense, your running back spot. It looks like maybe that Ontario Allen's going to be the guy that kind of takes up some of the slack back there. Talk about him.
Right now, you know, we're projecting him to be the guy. Could change. Ontario's that guy that if it ever triggers with him upstairs, as far as that I could be the man at this position, then he will be the man. He's kind of turned it on this last month and has really had a good summer, you know, at the end of the month. But he's got a chance to be a very good one, you know, that he's going to get a lot of carries and you know, he plays defensive line for us. You know, he's a starter on the D-line. So, like I said, he's going to have to be able to handle both. So we'll see where it goes.
You guys have got to come in as one of the favorites, certainly in your district and maybe in the class, but right off the bat, for the last at least 3 or 4 years, I know, you've got that first game against Vian, which is also going to be a humdinger this year.
Oh, it's
Talk
like
a little bit about that game.
you know, everybody wonders why you schedule those guys, and like last year, we had Stigler and then Shakota, and of course, they were. That's what I tell my kids. You had Vian that was right there with us. At the end of the year, you had Stigler went to the semifinals. You had Shakota that competed right there and went to the playoffs also in 3A. And but it's like I said, you find out where you're at very quick, and that's what it's about. We can make adjustments before we get, and that's what helps us getting into the district and be able to go pretty quick, because we know where we're at by just the quality of teams we play. Yes, it doesn't look good on your schedule, and especially in that win-loss column sometimes. But the advantage is getting into the playoffs, finding where you're at in the district. It's unbelievable. That was like whenever we were going to redistrict, they were like, "Well, they'll send you over to Vian probably," and I'm like, I'd rather see them during the district than have to play them in the playoffs the first round. That's the kind of view that I have. So like I said, we'll see. You've always got to be ready for that game, and like I said, we did. We put Luke in a position last year that he hadn't experienced. It shows. But I feel very confident this year that these kids, the way they worked over the summer, it's going to be a very good game again. And I encourage everybody, if they have that date open, to come watch it.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot. You've got a good group coming back, Coach. So best of luck to you and the Ironheads this coming year.
Thank you.